In the consumption space, and we caught up with none other than P&G India's CEO on its revamped India strategy. It's a very, very rare voice. Here out Madhusudan Gopalan on the need for discipline in driving earnings growth and why he thinks brand loyalty is higher in rural areas than in urban. Listen in.
Last 2 quarters, our top line growth has been very, very strong. We've done about 15% growth now for the last 2 quarters. Very pleased with the bottom line results as well.
Right.
So I think the strategies we put in place have started to show the results that we need to see.
So, Madhu, if I could call you that.
Please.
Before we come to the stellar numbers that you have actually displayed over the last 2 quarters, can you take me back to the slowdown of momentum that Procter actually faced in the India market in particular? What do you think the key reasons were when you took over as CEO? What were the key challenges you identified? And where are you in your journey of actually assessing and fixing them?
The key task that we set for ourselves is to drive top line, bottom line and cash balanced result. Because whenever we've done these out of balance, we've not managed to deliver sustained results. So that's one of the key focuses we've done, what we call as OTSR or operating total shareholder return.
Okay.
Now, to deliver these 3 in synchronization is not going to be easy.
Sure.
So the strategy that we put in place is a strategy covering 3 areas. The first is a strategy focused on superiority. Superiority on 5 vectors, which is around product, packaging, communication, go-to-market and value. In India, we made multiple interventions on each of those 3 areas. Areas around Whisper, for example, where we've innovated and brought to market an affordable 25 rupee price point on Whisper Choice Aloe Vera. We've innovated at the top end on our Whisper Ultra. We've gotten a Mark III Start, which is a product aimed at the young consumer.
Right.
We brought in top tier innovation on Pampers, which was first in the world that was launched in India.
Okay.
So the multiple areas that we did in terms of driving superiority
Sure.
on our products.
Sure.
The second key area of focus has been productivity. This has been a key change where to fuel these investments on superiority and to grow profit, we need to drive and step change our productivity. The key change we've done here is been to have productivity hardwired as a focus for everybody in the organization and not just folks working in finance or purchasing.
Okay.
So this has been a key change and that has given us very strong results, which has helped us drive both top line investments and grow our profitability.
The main real thrust in terms of, now a revival being seen has really been in the way that you've been very aggressive with your innovations in the market. Am I correct?
Yeah, it's a very good point. Innovation has been one big driver of focus. On the growth side, along with innovation also has been the focus we put on category growth.
Okay.
As you know, we're the market leader in most of the categories we play in. So growing category is a key focus for us. So we've redoubled our efforts on interventions to grow categories faster, be it in terms of the interventions we do on product, making the products at the affordable pack sizes available at the length and breadth of the country. A big focus has been in terms of go-to-market, where we're driving our distribution deeper. So growing categories faster has been an equal contributor as has been innovation.
How has life post GST been for you? Has there been a significant change in terms of, because earlier the theories were that there would be this whole unorganized versus organized. Has that all those narratives actually come true?
Yeah, it's a good question. The GST has been overall, I think, a very positive move for the industry. The 2 areas where we clearly see positive is one, it does, as you rightly say, clear level playing field.
Has it?
We believe it has. Now, obviously, you can't put a finger and say how much of the growth is coming from which.
Sure, okay.
But it definitely is positive from an ease of doing business that it has created a level playing field. The second area where we're seeing a big benefit is on supply chain. So we are actually in the middle of a big supply chain reinvention where we're going from a tax-driven network to a demand-driven network.
Okay.
And a lot of the cutting-edge analytics and machine learning work that we are putting in place, we are able to put those solutions into implementation because we can now design a supply chain based on what is right to get the product to the consumer at the lowest cost, as opposed to that being driven by tax reasons. So we're certainly seeing a benefit on that front as well behind GST.
I want to talk specifically of the Indian female hygiene market, and you were leaders there with Whisper. What is the penetration right now looking like in the Indian context, and what are the big challenges that, you know, a company like yours faces, because it's such a big investor in this category, to actually push forward? Because I believe the current growth rate or the penetration rate is only around 15%. Am I actually accurate or off the mark there?
Yeah. It's closer to 20%.
Closer to 20%.
20%.
Okay.
Now, the good news and the opportunity, right? The good news is, since the time Whisper came into the market close to 30 years back, penetration has exploded. You know, it's gone up multiple times in India in terms of number of people who use sanitary napkins, which is why Whisper continues to be one of our biggest and healthiest brands in our portfolio. Having said that, you're absolutely right. 4 among 5 Indian consumers don't use a sanitary napkin. Even in urban India, 1 out of 2 consumers don't use a sanitary napkin. So there's a huge opportunity.